Have you ever found yourself lost in your thoughts, wishing for inner peace, yet unable to escape the constant chatter in your mind? Imagine living in a state where all that noise simply fades away, where you are no longer bound by the past or anxious about the future, where you are simply here, fully present, feeling at peace with yourself. The truth is that peace is already within you, waiting to be unlocked. And today, we're going to explore the power of now by Eckhart Tolle, one of the most profound teachings on how to step into the present moment and experience true freedom. Are you ready to take a step away from your thoughts and discover the magic of the now? Let's begin. Chapter 1. You are not your mind. In the first chapter, Tolle offers a revolutionary idea. You are not your mind. This might sound strange at first, because we spend most of our lives identifying with our thoughts. We think, I am this person. I am my past. I am my success or failure. But what if you could detach yourself from those thoughts? What if you could be the observer of your thoughts rather than the thinker of them? Let's take a simple example. Imagine you're walking in a park. Suddenly, a thought pops up. I'm not where I want to be in life. I'm behind. That thought doesn't define you. You are the one observing it. You are the stillness behind those thoughts. Try this now. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath. Notice the thoughts that come to mind. Don't engage with them, just observe. The moment you observe, you are free. You are the awareness, not the thought itself. This is the first step towards peace, recognizing you are separate from your mind. Now that we've explored who we truly are beneath our thoughts, let's take a deeper dive into how we can escape the cycle of pain and distraction that often controls our lives. Chapter 2. Consciousness, the way out of pain. In this chapter, Tolle introduces the idea that consciousness, or being present, is the way out of pain. How often do we replay painful experiences in our minds? How often do we worry about what could happen tomorrow, even though it hasn't happened yet? Here's a simple example. You're at a family gathering, and you have a small disagreement with someone. Before you know it, your mind is consumed with the argument, even long after it's over. You're reliving the pain. The truth is that pain only exists in your mind, not in the present moment. Tolle says that when you stop identifying with the pain and bring your attention to the present, it starts to dissolve. The pain only has power if you engage with it mentally. So, next time you find yourself in pain, whether emotional or physical, take a moment to focus on the present. Feel your breath, notice the sounds around you, or even just feel your feet on the ground. These small practices reconnect you to the now and dissolve unnecessary pain. Now that we've uncovered how consciousness can dissolve pain, let's explore how to really move into the present moment, leaving behind the distractions that keep us from true peace. Chapter 3. Moving deeply into the now. In this chapter, Tolle talks about how to truly move into the now. He explains that many of us are so used to rushing through life, constantly thinking about the next thing on our to-do list, that we miss the beauty of what's happening right in front of us. Imagine you're drinking a cup of tea. How often do you rush through the experience, distracted by your phone or thinking about your next task? Tolle encourages us to experience every moment fully. Next time you're sipping tea, slow down. Feel the warmth of the cup in your hands, taste the flavors, and notice how it makes you feel. By being fully present, you invite peace into your life. As we begin to explore the deep peace that the now brings, it's important to understand the tricks that our minds use to avoid being present. These mental habits can block our peace, but with awareness, we can break free. Chapter 4. Mind Strategies for Avoiding the Now. Here, Tolle dives into the ways our minds trick us into avoiding the now. For instance, we may distract ourselves with endless to-do lists or with social media. These distractions keep us from truly experiencing the moment. Let's say you're at work, but you're constantly thinking about your vacation next month. Your mind is so focused on the future that you're not fully present with the tasks at hand. Tolle urges us to be aware of these patterns. When you catch yourself drifting into the future or past, gently remind yourself, this moment is all I have. When you find yourself distracted, pause and take 3 slow, deep breaths. Bring your attention to what's happening right now. It's a small but powerful way to return to the present moment. Having identified the traps of the mind, let's now move into a deeper exploration of presence. What does it mean to experience true peace and stillness? Chapter 5. The State of Presence. What does it mean to be in a state of presence? It's simply being aware of the moment without mental judgment or distraction. Tolle explains that when we're truly present, we experience a sense of peace and clarity. Imagine that you're sitting on a bench, watching a sunset. Instead of thinking about the sunset or trying to capture it in a photo, you just experience it. You feel the beauty, you see the colors, and you take it in fully. That's presence. Try this the next time you walk outside. Instead of rushing to your destination, just take a moment to notice the world around you. The rustling leaves, the feel of the wind, the sounds. By focusing on the now, you experience life more deeply. Next, let's look at a practice that connects you to your true essence, your inner body. By focusing on the aliveness within us, we can ground ourselves more deeply in the present moment. Chapter 6. The Inner Body. In this chapter, Tolle encourages us to become aware of our inner body, the aliveness within us. Our bodies are always in the present moment, so by connecting with them, we can return to the now. For example, place your attention on your hands. Notice the sensations in your fingers, palms, and wrists. Feel the life energy inside you. When you focus on the body, you reconnect with the present moment. Try this. As you're sitting right now, notice the sensations in your feet. Feel the weight of your body, the pressure of your feet on the ground. By bringing attention to your inner body, you begin to dissolve distractions and step into presence. Now that we've connected to our inner body, let's explore the many portals that bring us back to the present moment. Simple ways to access the now. Chapter 7. Portals into the now. Tolle shares that there are many portals into the present moment. Simple ways to access the now. These can be anything that brings you back to the present. A beautiful flower, a song that moves you, or even a moment of silence. Next time you feel distracted or lost in thought, find your portal. It could be a breath, a sound, or a visual image that helps you reconnect to the moment. For instance, when you step outside and see the sky, let it bring you into the now. Notice the vastness, the beauty, and the peace it offers. You can find your portal anywhere, anytime. Now that we've learned how to connect with the present moment, let's take a look at how living in the now can transform our relationships with others. Chapter 8. Enlightened Relationships. Tolle explains that living in the now can completely transform our relationships. When we are present with someone, without judgment or attachment, we can truly connect with them. Most conflicts arise from the ego, the part of us that is always trying to defend, protect, or assert itself. Imagine a conversation with a friend. Instead of thinking about what you'll say next or judging what they say, just listen. Listen without judgment, without thinking of your response. When you listen with full presence, you create a deeper connection. Try this next time you're with a loved one. Listen without interrupting, without trying to solve their problems. Just be there, fully present with them. Notice how the relationship shifts. Chapter 9. The Ego and the False Self. In this chapter, Tolle dives into the concept of the ego, the false self that we often identify with. The ego thrives on memories, future desires, and comparisons. It feeds on our need for validation, external success, and recognition. Think of a time when you were deeply upset about something someone said. Perhaps you felt insulted or misunderstood. That reaction, Tolle explains, is the ego speaking. It feels threatened when its self-image is challenged. But you are not your ego. You are the observer, the one aware of these thoughts and feelings. To free yourself from the ego, Tolle suggests becoming the witness of your thoughts. For example, the next time you feel triggered by someone's words or actions, pause and observe. Instead of reacting immediately, ask yourself, is this the true me, or is this my ego? By simply observing, you begin to disidentify with the ego and experience the peace that comes from being present. Remember, the ego thrives on resistance, so practice letting go of judgment and defensiveness. When you do this, the power of the present moment can guide you. Now that we've seen how the ego controls us, let's explore how we can break free from its grip and experience true liberation in the present. Chapter 10. The Liberation of Surrender. In the final chapter of The Power of Now, Tolle brings us to the concept of surrender. He explains that true freedom comes from surrendering to the present moment without resistance. Surrender isn't about giving up. It's about letting go of control and accepting what is exactly as it is. For example, let's say you're stuck in traffic, frustrated because you're running late. Instead of resisting the situation, you can choose to accept it. You can surrender to the moment and say, "This is what is happening right now, and I am okay with it." In that moment of surrender, you release the stress and find peace. Try it for yourself. Next time you're faced with a situation you cannot control, take a deep breath and remind yourself, "I accept this moment as it is." Notice how it shifts your experience and how you feel calmer, more centered, and at peace. Surrender to the now, and you'll experience true freedom. The more you practice this, the more naturally it will come. Living in a state of surrender doesn't mean being passive. It means embracing life as it unfolds. Now that we've explored how to free ourselves from the ego and surrender to the present, it's time to reflect on everything we've learned and put it into practice in our everyday lives. You've just taken a journey into the heart of the power of now. You've learned that the present moment is not just a fleeting experience. It's the doorway to true peace and freedom. By observing your thoughts, surrendering to what is, and letting go of the ego, you can live a life full of presence, joy, and inner calm. But the real work begins now. It's not enough to simply listen to these teachings. You must live them. The power of the now is available to you in every moment, and each step you take toward presence brings you closer to inner peace. Take a moment now, wherever you are, to pause and breathe. Observe your thoughts and let go of any resistance. In this simple act, you'll begin to transform your life. If this audiobook resonated with you, I encourage you to subscribe so you can continue exploring these transformative ideas. Share this message with friends or family who might need a reminder that peace is always available in the present moment. And if you found value in this journey, please leave a review to help others discover the power of living in the now. Remember, peace is not a distant dream. It is right here, right now. Take a deep breath and step into the power of now.